lost our drummer just a couple days before the tour started, and we were kind of in a panic what to do. You know, like we definitely didn't want to drop the tour, so we started hustling, looking for people that could potentially do it, and we found James Knorrell, who he has a couple videos online covering a few of our songs, and they were really good. So we knew that he already knew a few songs, and so we contacted him, asked him if he was interested. He was, and he said he only had to learn like a couple songs to have the whole set ready.
Given the crazy trek that we did and trying to practice with this guy, we obviously wouldn't have made it to the first date. Given how many, even if we planned as hard as we could, I mean, things happen, you know.
We actually didn't practice with him until the day of the first show we played.
So it was like that morning?
Yeah. So I remember I drove like through the night till 7 in the morning. We arrived at a rehearsal space where he had been waiting for us all night. He hadn't slept yet either, so he didn't know what time we were going to get there. And then we all like really crappily like practiced and then packed up and went to the first show.
It was rough, but we made the first show. It's not the best, but we did it, and we're out here killing it on Summer Slaughter.
So if you see those videos of the first two shows,
don't watch them. Okay. We need to delete them from the internet.
You know you're in for a good tour every time. So I've never been on a Summer Slaughter where I was like, well, that tour sucked. It's never happened, so it's always good. So
this is my first Summer Slaughter, and I went to the first one in 2006, 7 with Necrophagus, and I was like, man, that'd be sick to be on that tour. And then, you know what, 10 years later, 11 years later, I'm on it. So it's pretty fucking awesome, dude.
Definitely more open, and it's the first time that I think I've ever really kind of explored topics that are cathartic and like personal and stuff. You know, it's. I think when I was writing the lyrics, I was really depressed, and I think it was like a way of kind of like dealing with some of the depression I was going through and stuff, and just kind of trying to get myself out of a slump, you know. And the lyrics are pretty dark. They're pretty dark.
I think the overall theme of the album is very dark.
Yeah, the overall theme of the album is dying, death, you know, insanity, you know, just feeling like you're out of control, you know.
Which definitely like breeds way for Ken coming in the group, because I mean Ken's like really sick with Abigail, and like the album being dark and pretty much black metal-y as it is, it's like a perfect fit lyrically and like musically for Ken to take charge of the vocal duties.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it was like when I heard the music, I was like, oh, this works for me, you know.
This works for me.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of surprises and twists and turns that people aren't going to expect to see coming. Like, you know, there's definitely a faceless sound by now that people can recognize, I think. That's one thing I've really strived for over the years, is to create a sound that's recognizable, and I think I've done that pretty well. But I wanted to definitely like throw some twists and turns and lots of surprises, and kind of show some influences that I haven't shown in the Faceless before. You know, just the record overall, like we said, is a lot darker than anything we've done before, and you know, there's influences from, you know, a lot of black metal, industrial, all kinds of different things. So I think, you know, there's a lot of orchestral stuff. Like, you know, there was a little bit in the last record.
Depeche Mode.
Yeah, a little bit of Depeche Mode. Maybe a Depeche Mode song, maybe. Yeah, like orchestral stuff that, you know, I started doing on the last record. I kind of expanded upon more on this one. There's a lot of big orchestral stuff, and yeah.
Also, to mention, definitely a lot of throwbacks and motif-wise to like Akeldama and Planetary, for sure. It definitely pleases everyone, that's for damn sure. So.
I was finding myself influenced more by like just experiences and like a lot of movies and maybe soundtracks influenced me, you know.
Definitely for me.
There's a lot of kind of soundtrack-esque sort of vibes and stuff on the record.
Yeah, it definitely touches on that. I mean, I'm a huge Philip Glass fan, so like in segments in Spiraling Void, it's all Philip Glass inspired in the orchestration there. And then like I would say that you could probably line up the Faceless's new album to some movie. I don't know. I mean, it's like another Dark Side of the Moon thing. You never know, dude.
I personally don't even listen to that much music, but when I do, I like to listen to Judas Priest and Megadeth and more classic stuff.
Inspiration's an interesting topic for me because I find like if I actually just start working, it starts coming out. But I have like a huge fear of taking that first step. Like I think my biggest fear is like the blank page, you know. Once I get started, it starts coming out. And I think it definitely helps sometimes when you have a collaborator.
Definitely.
When you have somebody else in the room to kind of like help you filter out your thoughts and, you know.
The machine.
Yeah.
Definitely. The Keene machine. I mean, it is his baby, and Zenith is my baby, so I understand where he's coming from, and I know how it is to collaborate, get second opinion with everything. He's getting beers over here. But yeah. So like working with Michael, obviously, you know, I grew up listening to the Faceless since I was in high school, and obviously a giant influence on me. So working with Mike has been like really like natural for me personally. I don't know how it is for Mike, but for me, it's been like fucking awesome.
We had offers on the table from a bunch of other labels that were bigger labels, you know, at the time. I won't say which ones, but labels, you know. And yeah, but I went with the Sumerian deal because I just felt better about the personal relationship of it and everything. Even though it was a smaller deal, and it ended up working out great, you know. In the long run, it was definitely the right choice. Kind of rolled the dice on it and made the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on some really crap labels in the past, and just from briefly being in this band, I'm like, whoa, this is what a real record label does.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.